Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and in this video guys, I'm going to be talking about 3 ways that we can improve the Galactic Legend farming process. I thought about doing this inside of my, ways to make Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes better, but I wanted to do a separate video because I think with Galactic Legend farming, there's a little bit more to unpack, and I think that, overall I do want to say that I'm not trying to be super negative, right? I love this game, guys. Obviously I wouldn't play it if I didn't enjoy it, but with the Galactic Legend farming process, I do want to give Capital Games a lot of credit that each of these farms is excruciatingly painful to do because of the requirements, but that even Sith Eternal, who I love to rag on for being the worst Galactic Legend, he's still worth everything that you put into him, right? These are all characters that are still worth the requirements because they're so good, they're the top tier in the game. But their farming process does have 3 areas that I think could improve. So let's get into this, guys. And as always, in every video, we are first going to go down to our eternal King Wampa and proclaim our love for him and just say from the bottom of our hearts that even though you are not always in our team, you are always on our thoughts. You're always in our thoughts, not on our thoughts. You're always in our thoughts and always on our minds. And we love you. Alright guys, so ways to make the Galactic Legend farming process better. So I'm going to start with the first one, and that has to do with Galactic Legend tickets. So you guys can see up here near the home button, right, top right hand corner of the screen, that you have 49 of 144 light side tickets, right, if I was to start the Ray process. So those are left over from when I was going after Jedi Master Kenobi, because I knew that I would eventually get another light side Galactic Legend, so I started hoarding a little bit. We'll also go over to Lord Vader, who's my current farm. You guys will see that I was at 74 of 144. Now, what you really have to understand is that I was actually at 144 of 144, and these last here for the ultimate mats are, they cost, I think, 70 tickets to do. So, what I'm, trying to point out here, right, is they cost, additional tickets to do. And because I, hoarded 144, I could only leave 74. But these tickets, I will say, I am okay with the tickets, right? I think tickets are fine. But I think that they need to allow us to naturally accrue to 144 tickets over the course of the game, which shouldn't take anybody really long, right? That's maybe 2 days worth of farming, 3 days worth of farming, whatever, right? But you can only earn these tickets for a Dark Side Galactic Legend. They're on Dark Side nodes, and Light Side Galactic Legends, they're on Light Side nodes, after you've completed all the prerequisites for that farm. If you just let us accrue these over the course of time, right, sure, they're going to get to 144, and then I'm just going to sit there, right? I'm not going to gain anything from this. So what I think would be a really good change is just let those get to 144, because a lot of times when you get that Galactic Legend unlock, when you get everything done, you've unlocked the event, you've probably spent most of your energy for the day. So then, you're not going to start earning tickets until the next day, and it just prolongs the whole process. So that's change number 1. But the number 2 change is also around tickets. But when you go do these events, right, when you're in these events and you're trying to complete these missions, if you drop a battle because your game crashed, maybe you just lost entirely, you lose all of the tickets that you used for that tier, right? So if I'm at 74 tickets, I go do an ultimate battle and say my game crashes, I just lost all those tickets. I don't get any of them back. What I think would be a much better system is that you only, lose your tickets when you win the fight. That I'm okay with the tickets, right? I don't think the tickets are necessarily a bad thing, because I think they generate a source of revenue for Capital Games, which is good, right? We need revenue for this game to survive. But I also think that it helps some of those players, especially I'd say for newer players, it gives them time to get some of the gear ready for that Galactic Legend, right? Gives you time to hoard up, because if you're going to take, a month to unlock a Galactic Legend, along the way you're going to be earning rewards from other areas of the game that you can pour into this GL. So I'm okay with the tickets. I just think that if they could accumulate to 144, and if they only drained 4 wins, that we would be so much better off, and I think everybody would feel better about this process. The last point here is probably the one I feel the most passionate about, and it has to do with all the prerequisites. And I'm going to use Jedi Master Luke here as my first example. So Jedi Master Luke requires 3 Relic 7 characters, 2 Relic 6s, 6 Relic 5s, and 3 Relic 3s. Now, as you guys know, with Galactic Legend farms, which characters are required to be at these relic levels are specified, right? That here's all the requirements that you need, and then they need to be at a very specific relic level for each different character. What I think would be so much better, and I don't know that they could do this with right now, they'd have to do this with the next Galactic Legend and beyond, is give us the chance to like customize which characters we want to take to Relic 7. That for the Jedi Master Luke farm, right, you have to take Jedi Training Rey, R2-D2, and Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker to Relic 7. My suggestion would be that you just have to have any 3 of the characters who are specified in here at Relic 7. So for me, I might go Chewie, Jedi Knight Luke, and Han Solo for Relic 7. And then my Relic 6s, instead of being Han and Chewie, would be like 3PO and Chewie, and maybe C-3PO or Jedi Training Rey, right? Somebody else. And then, you pick and choose your Relic 5s, pick and choose your Relic 3s, instead of being, hard set on these characters. I said that, this helps you customize your roster, right? That it would give you more options to figure out who you want to go where. But what I also think this does is just gives players a little bit more freedom to feel like they're making their roster what they want it to be, right? Like, I have a Relic 7 Jedi Training Rey and a Relic 7 R2-D2, and to me, they're both like mediocre Relic 7s because I just don't have a good Resistance team. And they can be good characters, don't get me wrong, but I would much rather have a Relic 7 Han or Chewbacca right now than having one of them there. So, that's just one, that's just something that I think could be really, really good. But I want to go to Lord Vader here real quick because he needs 4 Relic 8s. And of these Relic 8s, 1 is on Padme, 1 is on Count Dooku, 1's ARC Trooper, and 1's General Skywalker himself. Nothing grinds my gears more than having to relegate like Padme and Count Dooku. Like, they're not characters who need that Relic 8. And how much more fun would it be if you could say, hey, you know what? I'm going to relegate my Wrecker and relegate my Zam. Or, 501st Echo, ARC Trooper, General Skywalker, and Wrecker, or Zam, right? Whatever. That you pick and choose which of these characters go to the, different relic levels. That would make a lot of people feel so much better about this process because they would feel like they have a little bit more control, right? You're not changing that I need to spend any more or less relics on this farm in total. All you're changing is how I can get there, right? You're letting us build a better roster because, like, Relic 8 on Count Dooku is not going to make a difference in my roster. But a Relic 5 Wrecker compared to a Relic 8 Wrecker is going to make a difference. So that's my suggestion. I'd love to hear what you guys think, right? Those are just 3 things that I think could make this process better. And again, I'm not trying to rag on Capital Games. Like, I do really enjoy this game, and I think that they've made some really good changes, and I think that there's so much more to come. This is just something that has been on my mind a little bit about the Galactic Legend farming process, that if they made these changes, I think a lot of players would really think this is, a great change and really give them some well-needed publicity at times from the community, because I feel like we're sometimes a little bit too harsh on them, and that these changes I think would be really, really welcomed, along with some other ones. But I think for Galactic Legend farming, I wanted to get this out here for you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. As always, guys, Wampa is king. I love all of you. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.